so today I am showing you 5 simple exercises that you can do at home to get beautiful toned arms after the age of 50. Bye-bye arm flab, bat wings, whatever you want to call them, and hello, beautiful arms. All right, so when it comes to arm flab, or gaining that kind of those sort of larger arms, sometimes they're known as bat wings, which is a little strange, but they are. It can be an issue, and it can be a really annoying issue, but fortunately I have a solution for you. So why do we gain more fat on our upper arms as we get older? Well, it can be a symptom of thyroid issues, definitely diminishing hormones. And like I've said in some of my other videos, and please watch the video that I made on beating menopause belly fat, because I talk about it there. But my point is that as we get older, our lean body mass diminishes. Our muscles basically diminish. It's called sarcopenia. And after menopause, we have to work that much harder to maintain a beautiful lean muscle mass. And if you think, well, I don't want to do weights because I don't want to bulk up, I promise you faithfully that unless you're doing hours of heavy lifting every single day, which is highly unlikely unless you're a bodybuilder, you won't bulk up. It'll be challenging for you to actually build the muscle. So what I talked about in that beating the menopause belly fat video was that we need to increase what we've done as we get older. We need to, at the very least, double it, sometimes even triple what we were doing before to get the same result. But fortunately, it's pretty easy to do. I'm here in the comfort of my own home, as you can be. I want to make this so easy for you, because a lot of time we don't have time to go to the gym, we don't have the resources to go to the gym or have a trainer, and so I hear you. Let's do it in a way that's very easy. And the great thing is that what I'm going to show you today is also really quick, these 5 exercises, so you can do them in the morning when you wake up. You can do them, maybe you've just finished some work in the morning, or it's minimal equipment, you could even do it at work actually, or halfway through the day, or in the afternoon, or if you really feel pulled to it, you can do it twice a day, or even 3 times a day. The sky's the limit. Here's a tip. Your equipment, which is basically, I'm going to show it to you now, is a resistant band with handles and weights. These are 3-pound weights that I'm going to actually recommend for most people. You want to have these in plain sight, because that's going to set you up to succeed, to remember in doing it. So what I suggest you do is for 1 week, have these out and about, somewhere in your living room, somewhere on a chair in your kitchen, somewhere or maybe the door that leads out, your back door. And then after a week, change the location, because if it's always in the same location, it'll start becoming like wallpaper. You'll be, oh yeah, whatever. So change it every single week, but have them in plain view. So I'm going to put a link to this resistant band. I think these ones come in either like medium, firm, and soft, or whatever. They come in different sort of resistances, and the weights, as I've said, is a 3. Now, talking about resistance before we get in super quickly, resistance training basically means that you're resisting against something. It could be resisting against the wall. It could be resisting against this rubber tubing. It could be resisting against your body weight, like a plank on the floor. But resistance training, my friends, is what we need to keep our body beautiful as we get older, and more, actually, as if not more importantly, is to keep our bones really strong too. So it's vital. It's not like, oh, maybe I'll do it. It's like, yeah, please do it. And the cosmetic, by the way, of having beautiful arms is just, is a bonus as well. Hello, Sunshine. I don't know if you can see her, but my little Pomeranian is going to join. Are you going to join in the workout? She's going to join in the workout because she loves to be with me. So let's start by warming up. So we always do a nice warm up before we start. So you can actually do your warm up with your little resistance tube right here. So you want to keep and have a nice wide grip on it, and we're just going to take it all the way over and back. And if that feels really, really easy for you, then you can just come in a little bit closer on your grip, okay? And then you want to make sure you're breathing. So we're standing with our feet hip distance apart, okay? Your legs are nice and strong, and core. So don't be fooled that if you're doing your arms, that your core isn't fully engaged. It needs to be. When we're doing arms, or when we're working on any muscles in our body, our legs, our core, all the other muscles need to be engaged. Okay, so even here in this warm-up, feel the low belly drawing inward and upward towards the heart, tailbone down towards the heels, feet firmly planted. Oh, that feels so good. And now we're going to do another little warm-up. This is my favorite arm warm-up of all time. You can do this every single morning. Bring your fingertips into a little point, like a little point of a paintbrush. And then you're going to paint a giant figure of 8. But when you paint your giant figure of 8, try and keep your body facing forward towards the wall in front of you, or if you're doing this video with me, to me, so we're not moving with it. Okay, because then you're going to really start lubricating the shoulder joint. Okay, and then we're going to do the other side. And remember, breathing. Breathing is very, very important. Breathing, whatever kind of exercise we're doing, whether you're at the gym pumping iron, or obviously yoga or Pilates, if you're in your breath, slow, mindful breathing, you'll never push yourself too hard, and it's much more unlikely that you'll hurt yourself. Okay, and let's do some nice shoulder rolls. Now, just be aware here that when I went into that, I even felt it on me. I felt that happening, that sway in the low back. So I immediately corrected it, drew my core in, nice strong core, strong arms, always thinking of posture. And the other beautiful thing about getting our arms nice and strong is what I'm about to show you is the exercises that really train sort of shoulders or backs of the shoulders, triceps and biceps. And so it's all the way around. We don't want to think of just one muscle group. Okay, and then just shake it out a little bit. All right, ready to get started? We're going to take our resistance band and we're going to work on the the biceps, excuse me, first. So the biceps we're going to get to, we're going to put most of our attention on the triceps, because that's the largest muscle in your arm. That's going to give you definition. And I am telling you, if you start really working your tricep muscles, and I mean really working them, you're turning your body into a fat burning machine, even when you're not working out. And that is the beauty of resistance training. Okay, so I am going to just stand on this, and my feet are about hip distance apart. And you'll gauge what's right for you, because if it's like, oh, I can't even lift that at all, then you just bring your feet a little closer together. It'll make it easier. And it'll also depend on the strength of the band that you get. As I say, this one's a sort of medium one. And now check my posture. So low belly in, legs are super strong, core is engaged. And now I call this lifting the platter. So you imagine that you've got a giant platter and you're lifting it up. Now, notice I'm not gripping with my fingers, so my fingers are relaxed and straight out in front of me, and I inhale, exhale. You exhale on the effort when we're doing resistance training. Like that, there you go. So lifting that platter. Now the key is when you're lifting the platter that you're not, if you're starting to round your back, we want to keep our posture really nice. You want to keep the shoulders in the shoulder joint, okay? You want to keep your shoulders stacked above the hips. Now you can even do a one-sided lifting the platter, okay? Like so. But either way, we're working those biceps. And what I recommend you do is about 10 of these, nice and slow. Now the next thing we're going to do, because we actually want to burn out these biceps, we really want to take it to a point with your biceps and your triceps and any muscle that you're working that you almost can't do one more. And that's going to be different for everybody. And it's going to also depend on the resistance of your band. So if you're like, I just can't do one more, then great, do one more and then you're done. If you're like, oh, this is so easy, then maybe you need a stronger band, or you can take your feet a little bit wider apart, or you need to do more reps. But either way, and it's great working your upper body as well, your arms, because that's also going to raise your heart rate a little bit too. But either way, work, as I've said, until you get to the point, and can you see what my fingers are doing here? Again, I'm not gripping, my fingers are relaxed, now I'm really beginning to feel it. Woo! And the other thing is, don't let your elbows come out to the sides, keep your elbows firmly gripped in, collarbone spread, nice open chest. Oh my gosh, all right, I'm going to do 3 more. 3, 2, 1, and that's about my limit. I could probably have got in another 2, and if I wasn't doing this video I would, but we're going to do another set, so worry not. So that is exercise number 1. That is our biceps. Now the next thing that we're going to do is a chest opener, and a chest opener basically gets into these muscles right here, those trapezius muscles, and just underneath is actually the first rib here, and it's going to keep your first rib, which actually isn't here, it's right here. It tends to travel up, right? As we get older, you know, one of the main reasons why is because we're holding a purse on one arm. So it can be that way, it can be the way you sleep, the way we drive, whatever. But either way, these first ribs start floating up to our ears, and that can cause tremendous neck problems. I learned it the hard way. So what you're going to do is take your resistance band, oh, a little bit dropped on the floor that I need. And these resistance bands come with this little sort of hook thing for a door handle, right? So what I'm going to do here, you only need one handle for this. So let's do this. And I am actually going to grab something here, because you can use a towel. I just grabbed a scarf here, and there's a very good reason for it. So I folded it up into like a little pad. It could be a towel or a scarf. So what I'm doing is I'm hooking the hook onto the door handle, like so. That's what I love about these resistance bands. Now, I hope you can see clearly. This is so good. This is such a good chest opener. So what I'm doing is, and I just want to go through this so that you really get the mechanics of this, because it's important. So bend your arm, and you're going to take the resistance band so that the handle is in front of you. Now, glue your elbow to your side ribs. That is the most important thing. So much so that we are going to use either a little towel, you could use a dish towel or something, and if it falls, your elbow ain't glued. So that's why I like to use that, okay? So elbow is glued in. The only other thing I really want you to watch here is that you don't torque your wrist. As we're moving in and out, the wrist is a natural extension of the rest of your arm. It doesn't curl in or it doesn't curl out. Now, if you're like, no, I'm not really feeling that, step away from the door. But that's enough for me. I can really feel like that. All right, so my body, my torso faces forward. Again, posture. So nice, strong core, feet firmly planted on the floor. Actually, have your feet about hip distance apart. It's better for balance. Oh my gosh, this is so challenging for me. I can feel it here so much. And maybe 10 to 12 reps for me will take me into that zone where I'm almost there now, actually, where I'm like, I can barely, it's like really painful, because then your muscle fibers, and it sounds weird, but this is how you build muscle, they are very slightly tearing, they're getting micro tears, and that's how your muscle builds. Whoa, that was unbelievable, right? And then obviously you're going to do the other side, which I'm not going to do right now because I don't want to turn my back to you, but you'll do the other side. I'd say 10 to 12 reps per side. Okay, great. Now, exercise number 3. Let's hit our triceps. You know, sometimes these exercises are known as sexy back exercises, because if somebody sees you from the back and you're in the kind of shirt that I'm wearing, or a strapless dress or whatever, we want this definition in our arms. And because it's the biggest muscle, as I said before, I can't stress this more, you want to turn your body into a fat burning machine. If we're building muscle up in the upper part of our body, it's also going to be reflected in our belly and everywhere else. So what I'm going to do here is, I've got these weights, as I said, they're 3-pound weights. Now, if you're super strong, go for a 5-pound weight. If you're an absolute beginner, go for a 1 or 2 pound weight. But 3 is a good middle area for most people. I'm standing with my feet hip distance apart. I'm going to hinge from my hips, although I'm squatting down into a chair, not too low, but just slightly squatting forward. Now I'm holding the weights down and I'm going to lift them up in a row. So I'm basically like doing a row. Remember, you exhale on the effort. So keep your shoulders back, collarbone spread. And these are not too challenging for most of you. So you might want to do 15 to 20 reps of this. But again, until your triceps are beginning to tire a little bit. But don't go crazy, because we're piling on here, we're adding here. We are going to tire our triceps out. Just you wait and see. Now, we're gonna glue the elbows into our sides. We're gonna hold on to those little dumbbells, and now we're gonna straighten it out. Now I'm beginning to feel it. Now I'm like, oh, okay, we're getting there. But I know we're not done, because I know what's coming, right? So let's say I did 10 reps here. I think I'm almost at 10, actually. I'll do 2 more. Now, with your arms as straight as you can get them, we're punching up, little lifts. Here, I'm going to gaze down at the floor, because I don't want to torque my neck up. Oh my gosh! And I'm aiming for 15 of these. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Wow. Oh my gosh. I really, really feel that. Okay. But we're not done. We're on to the next tricep exercise. And the next tricep exercise is a tricep dip. Now, the only people I would say that this is not a good exercise for is if you have had shoulder surgery, or you have a frozen shoulder, or you have a really bad neck, then probably stay away from tricep dips and just stick to what I've shown you. Just do 3 more sets. But tricep dips, if you can manage them, they are such a great exercise for your triceps. So the key with a tricep dip, you do it on a bench, a chair, whatever. I'll just do it on the side of the chair here, is the right placement of the hand. So you're pressing your hand into the very edge of the seat of the chair, but press this area of your hand, the sort of knuckle of your thumb. It's almost like if you were hitting something, the area that you would hit with the bottom of your thumb, that needs to be what presses into the chair, because that's going to protect your wrists, okay? So I'm going to pop in here. I'm lifting up the seat of the chair because I want to have contact with the actual chair. And also make sure your chair is really, really on solid ground here. It's actually a good idea to have it on a yoga mat so it doesn't slip, okay? And then I'm actually, this is looking a little awkward. I'll do it in the seat of the chair. I don't want it to look weird. Okay, so I'm coming forward. Now, the other mistake that people make with tricep dips is they float their back, their tush away from the chair. You want to keep your tush as close, your low back, to the chair as you possibly can, almost as if you're brushing it. So we're going to lower down and lift. And the challenge is keeping your shoulders away from the ears, so you're not hunching your shoulders up to the ears. The effort is on the up, trust me. And you'll know how many of these you can do. Now, if you're feeling a little ambitious, which you might be, come halfway down, readjust, come closer to the chair, a little bit further down, and you can do some little pulses. But make sure the shoulders are back and away from the ears. So I'll do 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Whoa. Okay, very, very nice. Now, having done that, I'm going to show you one more tricep exercise. Okay, so next up, we're going to do a push-up. It's a triangle push-up. And a triangle push-up simply means that that's how your hands are. You're making a triangle with your fingers. Now, you can do this on the floor, but it's really pretty challenging. So I would recommend that if you aren't like doing a lot of training already, maybe you elevate. And a step is a perfect place to do it. You can also do it on a bench if you want to, like sort of bench against a wall, but this really helps. And then at the very least, you can do it standing against the wall. If you really have got very little strength, you're like Sophie, just maybe even try it against the wall, but I'm gonna show you here. So whether you're against a wall or a bench, we're gonna set our fingers up, so we've got that nice triangle with the fingers splayed wide apart. And as I triangle, my elbows are naturally going out to the side, which is what I want them to do. And this is such a great tricep exercise. Now, I'm stepping my body out, so my legs are straight. My core is super duper engaged, so I'm just not letting everything fall in. I'm very engaged, my entire torso is engaged. And I'm basically coming into an extremely challenging push-up. Remember, exhale on the effort. So okay, and you get the point with veins popping out of my forehead, but it's challenging. That's my point. So if you can do 3 of those, do 3 of them. If you can do 1 of them, do 1. If you can work up towards 10, do 10. But either way, it is a good sort of all body workout. You're definitely going to raise your heart rate and you're engaging your whole body. But again, you are really getting into those triceps and your shoulders big time. Okay, so finally, let's stretch out our triceps now. But what I recommend before, if you're sort of following this video, before you get into stretching your triceps, do everything that I have shown you at least 1 more time, if not 3 more times. Because if you put on crank up a really good playlist and you get some great music going and you do that 3 times round, you'll raise your heart rate up and it becomes a high intensity training workout, a HIIT workout. And high intensity is when the intensity of the actual exercise is intense, but also you're going from one to the other in intervals. And so you're keeping your heart rate up. So I really, really recommend that. If you've got the time, do it. If not, you know, at the least just do 1 round of everything I've shown you. But if you really want to dial it in, then, you know, do 2 or 3. Okay, so having done all of that, this is the stretch. So I'm using my band here and I'm going to turn around so you can see. Now, on one shoulder, my right shoulder, I'm very, very, very tight on my right shoulder. So I super duper need a band to help me. And here I'm just going to do spend a couple of breaths just easing in, making sure that my upper elbow is going straight up towards the ceiling, and then very gently curling my right shoulder, this tight shoulder back, and breathing all the time. This is actually a yoga pose, being a yoga teacher, is a pose I've done for years. And then I just want to show you on the other side, and probably a lot of you will find this, is that on one side you're much more open than the other. So coming into it, on the other side, I'll come in like so, and then I'll actually be able to grip my fingers like so. And it's just a completely different thing. And that's so normal, by the way. On one side, this will go for your knees, your hips, your shoulders. One side's going to be open, one side's going to be really tight. And the key is just to spend a little bit more time on the tighter side, obviously. And that is that. Triceps are really important to stretch out, and biceps you don't really need to worry about. So that, my friends, is it. I really hope you found that helpful. You asked for it. You've been asking me for these exercises, these little resistance trainings that you can do at home. If you enjoy it, I'll do a lot more. We'll do lower body, we'll do all over body. and we'll do a full sort of HIIT workout that you can do in your living room. So let me know if that's something that you're up for, something that you want, and something that we can do together. But either way, you know, this will get you started on that resistance training that's going to make your arms, you know, more shapely, more beautiful, more toned, start getting rid of, you know, those bat wings. And remember, it's a holistic thing. It's all the different points I make. It's not just exercise. You know, my philosophy is, and again, you can look back at that Beat the Belly Fat Menopause video, you know, it's diet, it's training, it's getting your hormones sorted out and balanced, it's everything. So what I try and teach you, and if you're interested in this, do make sure you subscribe, is how to put all these different pieces together so that after the age of 50, and I'm 55 years old, you can actually, you know, not feel that you have to go, oh, I'm just going to get like, you know, all flabby and everything's going to go south and I'm not going to feel confident and look my best. I want you to look and feel your best, or at least feel yourself again. So many women say to me, I just don't feel myself anymore. And I want you to feel yourself, your best self. So make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you next time. If you enjoyed this video and don't want to miss any of my upcoming videos, please subscribe and make sure you click on the bell icon next door to the subscription box so you'll be notified as soon as a video goes live. Also, make sure you turn on the notifications for YouTube on your phone.